And on Daytime Buffalo, we recognize Mental Health Awareness Month with Transforming Pain Now. And we look ahead to Memorial Day with Briarwood Wine and Spirits. It's all coming up right now on Daytime Buffalo. Good afternoon, hello, and welcome to Daytime Buffalo. I'm your host, Chelsea Lavelle. Well, May is Mental Health Awareness Month in the United States, and it aims to raise awareness about mental well-being, mental health issues, reduce stigma, and promote the importance of accessing treatment. Here with us now with more information on these topics is Dr. Kristen Zabla from Transforming Pain Now. Thanks so much for coming in today.
Well, thank you for having me.
Of course. I'll ask you to start off by just telling us how prevalent mental health illnesses are.
Well, mental health disorders are a significant public health burden in the U.S. because a substantial portion of people in the U.S. suffer from mental illnesses. So according to the National Institutes of Mental Health, 1 in every 5 adults, 1 in every 5 children, and 1 in every 5 adolescents suffers from a mental illness in a given year. So this means that 59.2 million people, including children and adolescents, are suffering from mental illness at any given time.
Wow.
And according to the World Health Organization, depression is the leading cause of disability worldwide.
Why do you think that depression is the #1 disability worldwide?
Well, one thing, depression is really common, and the signs and symptoms of depression differ really widely between individuals, so healthcare providers may not catch it. And lots of people with depression are undertreated and underdiagnosed. And in addition, we don't have any biologic indicators that can predict response to a certain treatment. So a person with depression might go from treatment regimen 1 to treatment regimen 2, treatment regimen 3, and have really no different responses. And they may get frustrated, give up, say medication isn't for me, and then over time their depression just gets worse.
Yeah.
And what's important to note about depression is that, you know, it's a devastating disease that impacts an individual's emotions, cognition, and physical ailments as well. And you know, people with depression sometimes cannot function in day-to-day tasks. They cannot hold down a job or finish their education.
Mm-hmm. What causes depression?
So depression, there are a lot of complex risk factors for depression, such as family history, adverse life events, medical conditions, as well as, you know, no social support or family support. But what actually causes depression in a given individual is unknown at this time. What we do know at this time is that depression is a complex whole brain disorder that actually changes the brain structure, and it impacts multiple neurotransmitter systems or signaling systems, and this impacts the way the brain communicates to different parts of itself or its circuitry, and so this leads to emotional dysregulation.
Okay. Tell us more about your business, Transforming Pain Now, and what it has to do with mental illness.
Yeah, so I founded Transforming Pain Now to show my protocol for transforming my own mental health issues, because I suffered from severe depression since I was a young teenager. I realized that, you know, medication, while necessary, isn't going to cure me enough to function. And I also realized that therapy, while really helpful, didn't decrease my depressive symptomatology, even though no matter how many coping skills I use. And of course, coping skills are important. So my approach takes a neurobiologic approach and engages neuroplastic mechanisms in the brain. And what that means is, so you have, like, for example, pathways in the brain, and you can think of a ping pong ball going like this way. Mm-hmm. And that could be like a suicidal thought that goes over and over. Well, we can engage different strategies to make a different pathway, and so the ping pong ball goes that way. Now, over time, that'll get stronger and stronger, and the suicidal thinking pathway will get weaker. And it takes work, and there are certain strategies that we use to do that, such as you know, focusing on personal strengths, self-talk, as well as self-compassion, and, you know, we talk about suicidality, how to manage it and how to close the door on it, and that kind of thing.
Okay.
And so basically participants can really, in my program, really change their brain patterns, and they're able to, you know, find the light within and then empower themselves.
What should someone do if they're in crisis?
So if you're in crisis, it's important that you seek help. Call 911 or 988. 988, a trained counselor will talk to you. And please remember that, no matter how hopeless you may feel, there is always hope. If you need additional information, you can always check out the National Alliance on Mental Illness or contact me at transformingpainnow.com.
What are some other sources of assistance for people that are struggling with mental health issues?
There are online support groups. There's therapy and therapists, obviously psychiatrists, and there are also in-person support groups as well that you can find when you Google them online.
Okay. If our viewers would like to reach out to you for help and like your assistance, what's the best way to contact you?
Visit my website at transformingpainnow.com and send me an email.
Alrighty. Well, thank you so much for coming in, Doctor, and sharing more about this as we spread awareness during this Mental Health Month.
Well, thank you for having me.
Of course. Viewers, if you are in crisis, please call the national hotline number 988. And if you'd like more information on Dr. Kristen's neurobiologic-based approach to healing your trauma, you can visit transformingpainnow.com. Thanks again for coming in.
Thank you for having me again.